Welcome to the Clark University Campus Tree Audio Tour. This is Norm Freund, Professor of Philosophy. I will be serving as your guide. You have accessed the West Campus Residence Hall portion of this tour. This tour begins on the sidewalk leading to the main entrance of Mary Josita Hall. The building you see before you is the first modern building erected on this campus after the Second World War. It is named in honor of Mary Josita Boschnagel, who was Mother General of the BVM congregation in the 1940s and the 1950s. And the most unique class tree of all is right on this campus, but you will never be able to see it because the tree is imaginary. The graduation class of 1955 had long awaited the beginning of the construction of this building, which was scheduled to start during their senior year. However, construction was delayed until the summer of 1955, so not even groundbreaking had occurred where this new building would be erected. As a result, the graduates of 1955 planted where the entranceway to this building is an imaginary tree in front of an imaginary building. As you look to the left, you will see a crab apple tree. This is from the class of 1989. They named their tree Synergy, and the meaning of that word is to emphasize a global community outlook. To the right of the sidewalk entrance to Mary Josita Hall, you will see a tree that was a replacement tree for the class tree of 1961. They had planted a yew tree, and they called their tree Lo Hicimos, which is Spanish for "we did it, we graduated, we accomplished our goals." The yew they planted did not survive, but when the class came back for their 50th graduation anniversary, they replanted a tree and rededicated it for the one that had died. By this time, all the graduates of that class were in their 70s. Most of them were grandmothers. What kind of tree was chosen for the replacement? A nannyberry tree. Continue now on the sidewalk immediately outside of Mary Josita Hall, walking towards the west. When you come to the center entranceway, you will see a very large tulip tree there. This is a class tree for the graduates of 1965. They also gave a foreign language name to their tree. They called it Il Coraggio Essere, which translates to the courage to be. And what they meant by this name is, we have the courage to be anything and everything as we graduate from Clark University and head out in the world. As you continue along the sidewalk and you enter the space between Mary Josita Hall and Mary Benedict Hall, you will see to your left a large linden. This was planted by the class of 1968. Continue now to Mary Benedict Hall, and when you get to the main sidewalk that takes you to the entrance of that hall, turn to your left, head towards the entrance of the building, but please remain on the outside. This building, one of three constructed in the 1960s, was originally named West Hall. But upon the completion of the payment of the loan for the building, it was named Mary Benedict Hall, in honor of Mary Benedict Phelan, who was president at Clark University from 1957 to 1969. To the right of the entrance sidewalk, you will see a silver maple. The graduates of 1994 named this tree Julio. Julio was a dog. Point of fact, Julio was the dog of John Lease, long-standing professor of music at this institution. Over the years, many Clark students participated in choir. Often that would involve trips for their performance of their music, and every time they went to leave, Julio was there barking to see them off. Next to Julio is a green ash planted by the class of 1995. These two trees have an interesting background story. This is not where they were first planted. They were planted near the point where Clark Drive meets West Locust Street. But a few years after their planting, the decision was made to build an apartment building in the space where they were located. Because the trees were young enough, they were successfully removed and replanted at this location. Proceed now towards the street, and you will notice a large maple tree on your left. This is a class of 1971, which, spoofing, they called Son of a Bush. Now, there's an interesting story there. Therese Mack in BVM was the staff member who was Dean of Women at the time, and she didn't like this allusion to an expletive. But she did not tell the class they couldn't name it that, but they had to follow her lead at the tribute ceremony. What was Sister Teresa's lead? That biblically, over time, we are all sons and daughters of the burning bush in the desert. And thus, Son of a Bush remained the title of their tree. There's something interesting to see as you walk towards the street. If you look to your right, you can see between the trees of pines that are planted there one of the remnants of our original pine walks. Prior to the expansion of the street, prior even to there being sidewalks by the street, there was a front pine walk with gentle, soft needles as the underfooting for students to walk between those trees. The last tree on this tour is in front of the apartment building. This building was named in honor of Catherine Dunn, BVM, our president from 1984 to 2006. The red maple in the green space prior to the entranceway of this building is the tree of the graduates of 2001. This red maple is called Remembrance, and it's named after the song about remembrance that was popular during their time at Clark. This completes the West Campus Residence Hall portion of the tree tour.